Captain Cantrell, this is Coach Duke and the Red Hawks. We just want you to know we're behind you in your fight. You got a big surgery at 10:30, and we're going to dedicate this workout to you and your fight.
Man, I'm going to tell you guys that came at a time that was needed. I'll tell you about a little bit about myself first. Cape guy, graduated Cape Central, and obviously played football through there, and loved every minute of it. And that was my first really part of being on a team that, you know, like what you guys are feeling every day. And then after I left that, you know, you graduate, you go on. I went to Officer Candidate School in Newport, Rhode Island, as a naval officer, graduated, did pretty good academically and in sports, tested into a special operations field for the U.S. Navy. And you talk about, you know, it's an EOD, that's explosive ordnance disposal is the area I went into. So it was all mine countermeasures, surface warfare, surface ordnance, IEDs that you hear about. And the Navy has a particular specialty, and that's the underwater portion of it, mine countermeasures. Blowing mines up, putting mines down, placing limpets on ships and stuff like that. And I was telling Coach Duke, man, after I graduated from OCS, it was a 1.5 years long of specialty training, just pipeline before I even got to my first unit. And so you go in there like you guys are preparing, you know, you do all your individual preparing, and then the team has to perform. Well, the first unit I reported to was kind of like the Top Gun unit of the Spec Ops for the Navy, and it was called a PIC team, Parachute Insertion Capable Team. And I just happened to report at a time when they were about ready to go 2 weeks into a performance evaluation. Now this is inspection teams that come out of San Diego. We're in Coronado. They're based in San Diego, and I've never been through one. And but I knew that it was going to be a 3 or 4 day deal where they just kind of get up their ass and they inspect everything from books to operations. And the first operation we got through the books, all the money stuff, all the weapons were there, all the explosives were there, the trucks and stuff. So then we got to go to the operational side of the inspection. And the first day of the operational was a night jump. Now, you guys have all been on aircraft, and it's a lot more luxurious in a commercial. But when you're in the back of a C-112, and there's 8 of you, 4 on each side, stick right and stick left, you're at 15,000 feet in the air, it's pitch black, and you've got so much noise going on, and just like your personal preparation for the game, you're into yourself, and you're thinking about this, and I was just going through all the checklists, and I was thinking about all the things that could go wrong instead of all the things that could go right, you know. And my chief was sitting across from me like you are to me, and I think he saw that. He saw that in my eyes. I think he saw fear, and you know, in my eyes. And he's like, I was a lieutenant at the time. He goes, LT, you okay? And I didn't even hear him the first time. I was staring right at him. He's like, LT, you okay? And we locked eyes then, and I was just like, yeah, I'm good. Well, when you get on station, you got a red light, yellow light, green light, and that's what you're watching, knowing how close you're getting to your jump area. Red light was on. I was like, yes, in my head. Then we saw a yellow light. When the yellow light came on, it means we're maybe 2 minutes out, right? And he started doing this deal, and he was just like, he just looked at the first class. And the first class said, going places. And he said, doing things. And then they said louder. The guys, going, all the unison, all the guys except me were saying, going places. Then the chief said, doing things. And he was a Cajun guy, so he talked a little funny. He didn't say things, he said things. And a lot of other funny words like that. And I was like, man, you talk so funny. And he goes, you ought to listen to yourself, Bill Billy. He said, at least I know who my parents were. You know, and it's just like, he was that kind of guy. He was the dude. He was the guy. And all the guys respected him that didn't even know me yet, but they would follow him into hell. And so that was his way of pulling the team together. And then when that green light went, and we were all standing up, we pushed our boat out. We had, follow the boat down into the water and get in and do your deal. And so we were all just as loud as we could be, doing like what you guys do before you go out in the game. You're jumping, you're bouncing, you're doing all that. And I was kind of hoping this morning that I could relive that with you guys, because I know the team that this is. I know some of your past years. I know what happened last year. I was there with Stony Brook when I saw this amazing turn of events, and what maybe a few chairs being thrown can do to recalibrate your minds and get you focused, and then what momentum of a team can do. And I was on the sideline. I hit, high-fived you several times, and just like, man, I could feel it, and I felt like I was with you guys. So I was kind of hoping to be with you again this morning, just for a few minutes. And I'd like to be, I'll let you guys be Chief Pat North, and I'll be the rest of us. And I'm going to say, going places. And you guys are going to clap, and you're going to say, doing things. All right? And we're going to pick it up just a little bit. Then I got one other thing I want to talk to you about. So here we go. Going places.
Doing things.
Going places.
Doing things.
Going places.
Doing things.
Going places.
Doing things.
Jump. So we're doing that, and then we're all standing. The ramp drops down, on yellow, boat sitting there. Push the boat out. There's 4 of us on one side, 4 of us on the other. Chief is like this. He's counting down. 1. We let the boat fall for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then when he hits this, we all 3 fall out. And it was the nearest thing that I had found that's running out of Hopfield House and busting through that banner was my teammates. Because we were united at that time. There was no individuals. It was a team of 8 guys, having each other back, doing everything that we needed to do. And it was just awesome. It was magical. Now, I came out this morning to see if you guys need another walk-on. I can kick, I think, as long as I got protection and have my crust just right. No, in another about 5 weeks, I'll have my new wheel. And I told them, put a wheel on it, because I want to go faster than I did before. And because I'm motivated. What you all did, what I saw, I'm the chairman for the Avenue of Flags, those flags that you see flying at the park, go out 5 times, that monument. If you haven't seen it, I beg of you to go up and see that. Because all those names are your local county heroes that have been to war, fought for our freedoms, fought for our rights, for us to be individuals, and just go up there. And I think you would be in awe of some of the things you see up there. And when the flags are up, next time they're going up 9/11 on Patriot Day, I know you guys are practicing hard, but from 3 to 7. We're having a barbecue. I'd love to see each and every one of you come up there. And I don't know if Coach is probably not going to let you have a cold draft, but you do what you do. What we do up there, it's like Vegas. It stays up there, right? And we're going to broad and a barbecue, and we can talk more about that. But the last thing I want to talk to you about is adversity. And I thought I knew adversity, and I didn't. I didn't know true adversity. And some of you may know it already. Some of you have maybe had something in your lives that brought you to a place, something like this. Sunday, it was June 9th. We just came back from the lake Sunday evening, had a great time, and I mowed the yard. I had shirts and just flip-flops and a t-shirt on, and Stacy, my wife, had parked in front of my truck, and she doesn't let me drive her Audi. So I was just like, I'm just going to jump on my motorcycle. Had a nice fat boy, Harley Davidson, because I wanted to go to Academy and get me a blue shirt. It was the 6th game of the Stanley Cup. My brother-in-law, Jay Knutson, was having a barbecue. And so I was like, I got a hat, but I need a freaking t-shirt, man. I need to be teamed up. And so I jumped on my bike, and I was just cruising, and took Independence just to go around and just kind of have a nice little ride. And for whatever reason, the guy just didn't see me. He was coming out of the Kmart parking lot, and I guess he was trying to jump in the guys in front of me and the guy that was coming a couple hundred yards behind me, and he just wanted the space that I was in. And it was a 90-degree impact, just T-boned me, and crushed my leg, sent my bike 100 yards up. And if you saw the front of the car, you'd say, there is no way that anybody would survive that if it was flesh to that front of that car. All his 5 airbags deployed, front of that freaking Camry was down. Camry's a pretty well-made car, but it was completely down. So when I think of that, I think of the silver linings, and I'm still here talking to you guys because, you know, it was amazing. I think God was looking after me. But then I started my real trials of adversity. I looked down. I woke up, busted my head open and had this, and woke up and I felt all kinds of, road rash. I had shorts and t-shirts on, which I don't highly recommend anytime you're riding your bike. And, but I was able to look up, sit up, and see my condition. And I was on fire just from all the road burn, but I could see my leg. My bottom of my leg was at a 90-degree angle to the rest of my leg. It was just filleted open. You could see the bone was splintered. It wasn't connected to anything. And I was just, I could hear people around me, and I was like, oh my God. And somebody called 911, and I heard a lady say, the ambulance is coming. Can you hear it? I said, yes. And I never know my wife's number because it's on speed dial. And I just, it's on, I just say, Siri, call the Sarge. And it calls her, right? But I rattled off her phone number 3 times. Then I begged somebody to put a tourniquet on my leg because I was going to bleed to death. It was just pouring out. And I heard an EMT say, I'm an off-duty EMT. I'm going to secure your leg. And by using the word secure, I knew he had probably some military background. And so he was going to help save me. And the next thing I know, I can get emotional on this, so don't hold that against me. Because it was an emotional part of the time of my life. Next thing I know, I was on an air flight up to Slough. And they had incubated me, so they had pipes and stuff down my throat. And I felt like I was in a cocoon. I was so tied up, in like a body bag with it, but my head was out and my breasts were, that's all I could get. And I didn't know. I was like, man, how long is this flight? I can't do this for long. So I just started going, God, please, let me live. I didn't want to leave my family like that, nor my friends. And so I kind of called upon him, and he helped me out. And so that just started the whole phase of this, the godfather of adversity in my life so far. And so they, saw bones, chopped my leg off, and they kept a good nub so they could have a good prosthetic to go on. I still got, I got great, not great, but I've got really good knee function. So I should be on the pickleball course, beating Coach Litz, regularly again in no time. And but as I lay there in that bed, man, for 33 freaking days, going through these operations called debridements, and that's where they basically knock you out, and whatever wound you have, they power wash it. So they were power washing the inside of my leg. And then they would take the culture and it would sit there for 2 days. And if it came back bacteria-free, the plastic surgeon would come in and sew you up, close the wound. Well, since the accident was on the street and stuff, it was really bad. I had a lot of debris and stuff in my leg. And so the pain that was the consequence after that, I'm allergic to morphine, so it was just a drip of something like a hydrocodone at that level. And that's, that wasn't enough. So I couldn't keep up with the pain. And they even, on the second one they did, I broke the rails on the bed because I was pushing out so much. I felt like I was dying. Or I was going to go crazy because I couldn't handle it so much. Fellas, I went through 5 of those. And I told my wife, I was like, I can't do 6. It'll kill me. I can't do 6. And the Sarge came and got in my face. She's a pretty little 5'6", brunette. She comes in, she goes, baby Cantrell, you're going to do whatever it takes to get us out of here and for us to get back home with our lives. And she didn't want to do that. She was my teammate. she got in my face and told me what I needed to hear. And somewhere, fellas, there's this compartment that's put in us before we're even in our mother's womb. And it's because we're all sons and daughters of Christ. And He put this in us when He created man. And it's a compartment that I hope you never have to get to. But I'm going to tell you it is. It's in you. And I was free-falling in despair, depression, doubt, arguing with God, mad at the world. Why me? Why me? And I was free-falling, and I found that compartment. And that compartment is called character. And I opened my compartment, and I pulled out a champion. And I know each and every one of you guys are champions, and you've got that compartment. I hope you never have to dig that deep, but it's there. And I just so appreciative of Coach Toot. I got to throw out the first pitch for the Catfish, and the same day Coach Toot called me and asked me to come talk to you guys. And I was like, they don't want to hear a one-legged man talk about his problems. But I know Coach Toot is a Christian. I know Mike Litz from hell, he coached me in football. That's how old we are. And I know that the staff that you have, and I've watched you guys perform, and I can't wait till August 28th. And I can't wait to hear that crowd and see you guys run out and start this season, because I feel like I'm on your team now. And I found out that the team just doesn't exist with the guys in this room. It exists with your friends and your family, with the doctors and the nurses that care for you, and people you haven't even met yet. Because you're forming your life team. And just know how important that is when adversity strikes, how important that is that you will come out a champion. I appreciate y'all's time this morning. Thank you very much.
Come and also be a part of something really cool, really fun. Picked him to do this because this guy I'm getting ready to bring up here has come through a lot of adversity. And he came to this program, and the only thing we gave him was an opportunity. So Tyler Ford is now on full right.